conference finals.
Okay.
And then on the other side, from day one, I have first guessed Joel Embiid. I've told you since January, he's on a tear. He's going to win MVP. Finally, you gave in and said, okay. When did you give in? It was the recent night, April 4th, that he scored 52 against the Boston Celtics, albeit in Philadelphia. But that night, he was extraordinary. He made 20 of 25 shots. He made 12 of 13 free throws. I have never, ever seen a man this tall. We're going to give him 7'1". We're going to give him 300.
Yeah, easy.
Easy 300. I've never seen a man shoot the ball from distance with the touch this man has.
Right.
Against Boston, he would just pull it up. You guys, 2 of you want to come at me? 3 of you want to come at me? I'll just pull up at the free throw line, and I will fade away and shoot a shot you cannot bother or block, right? 20 of 25 he made, and nobody in the league made more free throws per game than Joel Embiid. He gets to the free throw line, he makes 86%.
Right.
He will average making, or he did average through the regular season, 10 free throws a game. That led all of basketball. That's pretty great. That night against Boston, he went for 52. He had 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 blocks. He's been playing big-time, high-level basketball on both ends because he is a shot blocker when he decides to be. I have watched Joel grow up this year. You could be right. Is he going to get a tummy ache? I don't know. But he's said all the right things about, I want to win the MVP. It does matter to me. But in the end, all that matters to us is the playoffs. Well, yeah, because he's been around for a while now, and he has known some heartache in the playoffs, and he's known some stomach ache in the playoffs, and you can't do it. Okay? So I have seen a grown-up Joel Embiid this year. You could be right. Doc's on the hot seat. Doc's under fire. James Harden is on, and maybe even a hotter seat because sometimes he looks like a shell of himself, but he has turned himself into John Stockton. I've never seen, led the league in assists because he has extremely high basketball IQ. As you know, he used to be able to score the basketball from the perimeter like nobody we'd ever seen.
That's not him anymore.
Okay, it's not him anymore. We watched him win an MVP mostly from the perimeter, although he can snake through defenses and slither like nobody you've ever seen as a left-handed 6'5" player. He doesn't do a lot of that anymore, but he knows how to get the basketball. He knows how to pick and roll with Joel Embiid. And I think when you throw in Tyrese Maxey is what you call he's a third star, but I think he's a star. I believe in him.
He's shown himself.
Hey.
But let me ask you a question. Well, who do you have them beating in the Eastern Conference Finals?
Okay. To your point, I don't know exactly how the thing's going to unfold, but I have not bought into Milwaukee or Boston all year. I'm about to tell you why. Because the more I watch, the more I doubt both of these teams. So let's start with the team you've liked all year, the Boston Celtics. And let's look at what's happened to them. And I'm just going to run down their schedule. If you just scan down their schedule, you start scratching your head about, okay, I get it. They're a very deep, you could argue they're the deepest team in basketball. But they don't have the same head coach. And I'm not saying the new head coach is bad, because he's not, because they're still very good. I just think they lost a little bit of defensive edge from Ime Udoka from a year ago. All right, so they lost 3 times to Orlando, twice to Orlando at home. They lost twice to the Bulls. No shame there, but they did lose twice to the Bulls. They lost 3 times to the Cavaliers, another playoff team that's pretty good, but 3 times. They lost 3 times to the team that's going to play the Cavaliers, to the Knicks. And I'm saying, wait a second, just how good is Boston? Are you sure about Boston? They lost to the Rockets. They lost to the Pacers. Well, wait a second, they lost to Oklahoma City. No shame there, but they did lose to Oklahoma City as they were an up-and-coming upstart, right? They lost to Utah. They lost to Washington. These are the Boston Celtics. Those are all the losses. And there are so many, quote-unquote, bad head-scratching losses that I'm still scratching my head about the Boston Celtics.
I'm sure if you go back and look, you can look at a lot of teams that lost to some teams that you're like, well, how the hell y'all lose to them? You're so much better. Better players, deeper team, better coach. It just happens. You tell me it's the NBA. How everybody can't get up on a Tuesday night, a Thursday night, or a Monday night and play their best basketball.
And then finally, I did watch Joel Embiid hang 52 on them and just shoot them out of his own gym. All right, so now I look at, okay, wait a second. Let's go to Milwaukee, shall we? Wait, they lost to Boston at home on Christmas by 21. Interesting. Just the other day, it's March the 30th. Wait, Wait, Milwaukee lost at home? At home to Boston by 41 points? Are you kidding me? They lost by 41? Big question marks. Red flags go up in my psyche, like, seriously? And then I scan down their schedule and I say, well, wait a second. Okay, they lost, this is Milwaukee, they lost to the Heat twice, they lost to the Rockets, they lost to the Bulls twice, they lost to the Cavs twice. Wait, they lost to the Pacers. Wait a second, I keep going down here and I see more losses we talked twice to the 76ers, and they lost to the Spurs, and they lost to the Wizards. And I'm saying they were just hit and miss. And you say, well, they were hurt.
So let me tell you, I love what you did there, but you talked about all the teams they lost to. Well, if Milwaukee is the #1 seed, which means they have the most wins, I can imagine who the Sixers lost to because they're the 3rd seed. Okay. So that means they lost more games than what Milwaukee, right? Okay. So I'm sure they got some debilitating losses in there also.
Okay, but I will say this. On March the 4th, I watched a game at Milwaukee featuring Joel Embiid versus Giannis, and I watched the 76ers as the visiting team come from 14 down in the 3rd quarter. I watched Joel Embiid with 42 seconds left pull up from 3 and swish it like it was a free throw to finally put them ahead, then make the 2 clinching free throws with 5 seconds left because he just doesn't miss.
Did Milwaukee beat Philly this year also?
Okay, yeah, I'm just saying these are recent games. Beat Boston, beat Milwaukee, and showed me the firepower and Joel's star power that he can rise above anybody because he is the best player on the planet as we speak. I'm disqualifying Kevin from this because last year, as you recall, I told you I'm out on Kevin until he reproves himself in the post, and I believe he will this year, but he's got to do it first. But remember what happened against Boston. I'm going to blame part of it on the Kyrie situation.
No, you can't blame Kevin Durant. Okay. Kyrie wasn't shooting the ball for Kevin Durant.
All right, Kevin went 26 in 4 straight losses. They got swept by the Boston Celtics. Kevin went 26 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. On the face of that, it doesn't sound that bad until you look at he shot 37% from the floor.
Right.
He's shooting 56% this year for the season, which is a career high. 56 down to 37, I think that's a precipitous drop.
Yeah.
Because he got annihilated by Boston's defense. As you know, they were running 2 and 3 people at him, and he just folded like the cheapest suit you've ever worn because you used to wear cheap suits. Now you got expensive ones, right?
I did.
Okay. You used to wear hand-me-down suits, right?
Of course.
Okay. Those suits, that's how Kevin folded in that series. And look at him now. So he has a chance to reprove himself, but he didn't last year. So he's on a mission to regroup from last year.
So you give me all these scenarios about Milwaukee not that good as they, even though they have the #1 seed. Boston's not that good, even though they have the #2 seed. The #3 seed, they got Joel Embiid. Well, if they had Joel Embiid, why weren't they the #1 seed?
Okay, I'm just telling you, my eye test for the whole year, when I take important victories and bad losses, I just believe in the 76ers more than I believe in the Bucks or the Celtics.
And you just said, well, I hope James Harden, he's a shell of himself. True Holiday has proved himself that, because he carried the team, because Chris Middleton has been out the lion's share of the year, and they was resting. Giannis had a knee injury. So they've been resting him, and Holiday has come through.
He has. I like them. I like them more than Boston. I agree with your pick, excluding the 76ers. But I'm not going to exclude them. I think it's Joel's year. It's his year to break through and win MVP.
He won it.
I think it's his year to break through and win the East this year.
That's as far as it goes. I mean, take solace in the fact that you won the MVP.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Embiid versus KD in the finals. It's going to be epic, and KD will rise above, as he did over LeBron in 2017 and 2018. I got the Suns rising back into the finals and winning the finals for the first time in their existence.
No.
Yes.
No.
Thank you.
You're not coming out of the East, Skip. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't know what got into you. I don't know what you had before the show, but you went from 15% all the way up to 100% for your Lakers.
Hey,
maybe you were just listening to me.
No, I'm just counting on Bron and AD to do what they've always done in the postseason. Okay.
Well, Bron, he cannot run out of gas in fourth quarters. That's all I know.
Well, if he plays 45 minutes, he's going to run out of gas.
Really?
I guarantee you. Guess what? Guess what happened if Joel Embiid plays 45 minutes?
He'll be just fine.
Okay, just fine. Okay, just fine.
Yeah, I think he's ready to play 45.
No, I don't think he's ready to play 45 minutes. I don't, Skip.
Here we go.
Goat, James.
Are we putting any dew on it yet this morning,
He's
gentlemen?
scared. I got him running scared. I took 2 10 seeds. I took 2 10 seeds and 1 dew.
10 seeds.
OKC in Chicago.
You lucked into both.
I lucked into it.
Well, you lucked into. New Orleans had 3 chances to win the game and failed miserably. And then, wait a second. The home team Raptors missed 18 free throws?
Had a 19-point lead.
Yeah, way to go.
You should pay me double for having that big old lead.
Yeah. Well,
we'll get some dew.
We're not going to talk about that.
We'll get some dew. We'll get some dew going.
All right. Hopefully, once the finals get started, the dew will start flowing. Let's dive into exactly how these playoffs are going to unfold a little bit more. LeBron, do you think he's headed for an early playoff exit? And Lamar Jackson, guys, do you think his accuracy is what's preventing a long-term deal from getting done? Let's discuss up next on Undisputed.